And after that, up to at least the top one, Todaiji Temple, and maybe the one beneath it. And after that, up to at least the top one, Todaiji Temple, and maybe the one beneath it. From right to left, so I assume that's in the direction of the Todaiji, whatever it is, temple. I've walked down a little bit from where I was because I wanted to look at the Nandaimon, mon meaning gate. A huge gate, it's the biggest one I've seen so far. Very impressive. Imagine what it was like when it was all colored, because I think it was. It looks like there's been red paint on that up above. We'll see when we get close. Little traditionally dressed ladies. Assemble, hoping for a handout, but staying dry. Massive wood. Here are massive monsters. And I think they represent protective gods, believe it or not. Here an older, either cement or stone carved icon. Here is blind in one eye, it appears. It's white anyway. I can't imagine that they can eat at least these colored printed brochures without suffering some damage from the chemicals. Impressive if these are carved of wood. I don't know what they're carved out of. Trying to get a look, that looks like wood running vertically on his legs, so they must have taken various chunks of trees to carve this and then assembled it. About as much as a look as I can get of this guy. So this is the Todai Museum and or Culture Center. Again, great restraint and design. The entrance gate, I think, to the walled compound of the Todaiji Temple, built for the purpose of becoming, hopefully, the center for this sect's religion. And because it was 800 yen, or about $7.50. And the thing I found is that one, they don't let you use video, and number two, nothing's in English, and if it is, it's so short and so little that it has no meaning. I guess it's the same thing is true here, that they'll probably charge us to go in, and I don't know what we would see. Even this most important artifact behind the chicken wire, so it's relatively hard to see it. It's looking a little bit more benign. Notice it has a little pagoda in one hand and a staff in the other, but carrying a sword. Rather elaborate incense device, and you put your money in there and then put your incense in there. Well, and large purification trough. And these large artificial metal flowers, I think. But the pile of oranges is probably true symbolization of what we saw in cans at some of the smaller ones yesterday. It's interesting, while we're looking here, look at the size of these posts. I wonder if there's still trees like that in Japan. Notice the Buddhas surrounding the main Buddha. These metal strips look very similar to something you see in Thailand. Usually one on either side of the altar. Here there's one on each of these posts. Here we get another closer look at these giant metal flowers. Those are metal sheets. That's a dramatically gold painted Buddha. Remember, each of the Buddha's positions, seating, plus the hand positions are meaningful. Although I don't know what they are. Now outside it said no photographs. Had a big thing showing no photo cameras on a tripod, which I thought was generic to no photographs, but that's certainly something no one's adhering to and is not being enforced. Look at those stairs. Without a railing too. There is a little railing there. Boy, it'd be a hell of a fall, wouldn't it? Big guy. Look at his toes or shoes. And he has the tools of calligraphy in his hand. Maybe he represents the god of knowledge. Or of literature. An interesting view from the side back of the great Buddha. This looks like a model of it, but I don't know that there are any pagodas left. Also, it seems to have a double gate. Focus now on just the hand. Almost appears to be devoid of bone, maybe? But yet a gentle kind of a warning signal, or at least a gesture of caution. And here the back of the Buddha that we saw to the left of the big Buddha from the front. Very lovely lotus leaf pedestal for this column, and it's the only one I see here about. Here's some leftovers, it looks like, from prior temples or projects. Profile of the large Buddha. Look at that nose. I think that may be an Indian type nose, but it's kind of curious in its slope, isn't it? This is similar to the one we saw earlier today out at the Mon, because it's holding that just one level pagoda, it looks like, in its hand. But look at the elaborate dress. Was that the dress of the great lords, the shogun or something? Or a over-the-top version of it? And the end of his staff almost reminds us of a trident. It was not his foot I saw. That is the foot of one who he has conquered. These two dudes are standing on a conquered entity of some sort. The final clue, the nose and mouth, probably of a lion type of character. And that may mean that those are clawed feet. You get the clawed front foot of the lion looking up into its face. Wow. This is a side view of the entity that we haven't yet seen that's on the right side of the big Buddha as we're facing it. Something I want to go back up on focus is what's inside that hole on the headpiece above his head. Another standing person-like thing. Unfortunately, I can't get a focus from here. And the right side view of the Buddha. We're right here at the temple. In fact, I'm right inside the temple now. So we're going to hang to the little bit diagonal southeast and try and pick up the Great Bell. Then over to these two halls, then down to Tamukiyama Shrine, and then over to the Primal Forest, if we can get a look at that. Get a little sense of these doors. Sorry to see that the Japanese have allowed those goddamn tour operators to use megaphones. This is an interesting sculpture, nicely done. Has elephants and lions on it, in addition to the 4 lions at the top.